Hello everybody, welcome to the 5 Minutes PM podcast. Today I'd like to discuss with you the kinds of relationship between two different tasks. It seems something very simple and very easy to learn, very easy to apply, but it's not. It's something very, very relevant that we need to understand when we want to make sure that we are doing a proper time management to our project. The first concept that a lot of people misunderstand is the concept of predecessor and successor. A lot of people think, okay, predecessor is the task who comes first. Successor is the task that comes later. It's wrong. This is only true if you are linking two tasks in a finish to start relationship. So we need to reframe this concept. What is a predecessor? A predecessor is a task that you need to focus, that you need to spend your energy, because all the restrictions rely on the predecessor. The successor is just waiting for the beginning or for the end of the predecessor. We need to understand this. So the focus should be always on the predecessor, because the successor is just waiting for something to happen. And not necessarily the predecessor will come first. Okay? Maybe you just start something and then you need to finish it much later. So don't keep in mind that predecessor and successor are the task who comes first and who comes last. In order to do this, we need to understand the 4 kinds of relationship. In this podcast, I will be talking about start to finish and start to start relationship. Next week, I'll be covering the other 2. What is a start to finish? It's the most traditional. The predecessor must finish in order to start the successor. This is very obvious. It's by far the most useful and the easiest one. We spend around 95% of the time planning using this kind of relationship. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose that you need to build a wall and paint the wall. So build the wall is the predecessor. Build the wall must be done in order to paint the wall. So this is a physical restriction. Most of the time, finish to start relationship are physical, are what we call hard logic. It's not a management decision. It's a physical restriction. I cannot paint a wall that doesn't exist. The second relationship is what we call start to start. I need that the predecessor just start to start the successor. This is very useful when I want some kind of synchronization between two tasks. For example, I want to do an advertisement, a campaign, and I need to put the advertisement in radio and on TV. Then I may decide, okay, I want to, as soon as we start the campaign in the radio, we'll start the campaign on TV. So it's a start to start link. And look, you may ask me, Ricardo, why you are connecting physically the advertisement on TV and the ad in the radio? What's the difference? There is no difference, because we are talking about strategic relationship and not a physical relationship anymore. They are linked and connected because it's convenient for me that these two advertisements happen together or with this relationship. Let me give you a very basic and simple example. Let's suppose that you need to put some tiles in the construction in your kitchen and some tiles in your bathroom. There is no physical relationship between the bathroom and the kitchen. But you decided to build these two works together. So you said, as soon as we start the kitchen, we start the bathroom. Because for me it's convenient, because then I don't need to change the supplier. I don't need to change the provider. I don't need to buy 2 different people to do quality assurance. I will keep the focus on my team because it's pretty much the same work, only in 2 different positions. This is the strategic link. And this will be very useful when we want to speed up the projects, because most of the time we cannot work on the physical relationship. Next week, I want to discuss with you about the finish to finish and the start to finish relationship. and how we can manage this better in order to understand the concept of the critical path in our project. But this is for next week in another 5 Minutes PM podcast.